Give us a pitchfork and a straw hat because Jake and I have been farming. We've been looking through the Kaldheim spoilers, and we have found 3 terrific black-colored cards that are going to be awesome in EDH.
That's right. We are combing through the spoilers as there's a lot of chafe. There's stuff that's good for limited. There's jank rares. There's great rares. And we have 3 rares today that we think are just great, and the video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello, and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We are going to talk about 3 of some of the best EDH cards in black that we have seen in Kaldheim thus far. But if you would, before we do, if you would go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out.
It's the best way to support the channel with just the click of a button. If you're already a fan of Jake and Joel, check us out on Patreon. Any level gets you into the Discord. There's giveaways. It might be a good fit for you.
Let's jump over into these cards. So, Jake, first up, we have got Tergrid, God of Fright. 2 black, 3 other for a 4/5 legendary god. She's got Menace, and she also has whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So if we are forcing discards, all the permanents that are discarded go onto the battlefield. If we are forcing sacrifices, all of the permanents that are sacrificed go onto the battlefield, and that doesn't even consider when the opponents would naturally be doing it themselves, say like cycling or sacrificing a fetch land. This card seems absolutely nuts, and I'm gonna say punishing. I don't think this is a very fun card to be playing against, but probably a really fun card to play.
Yeah, I really like that this card is mono black because any other color that gives it any other additional power is just going to be too much, just like way too much. That's the only thing about this card that I find unattractive. Everything else is really, really nice. I like the flip side that we're going to talk about, but yes, you pair this with something like, and we're going to talk about these cards, but like Painful Quandary, anything that forces a discard.
Yeah.
And then you're just getting absolute gas off that. I think the converted mana cost is appropriate too, because the power level of the card is immense for the amount that you're going to be able to get out of it.
The back of Tergrid is Tergrid's Lantern. 1 black, 3 other legendary artifact. Tap it, target player loses 3 life unless they sack a non-land permanent or discard a card, and you can pay 4 as many times as you've got mana for to untap Tergrid's Lantern. Jake, this looks like let's combine infinite black mana combos and win with the Lantern.
Yeah, and I know we're talking about Commander here, but that ability is enough for me in a control deck to be a win con. I'm just looking to counter your spells and make you lose life at the end of your turn. That's fine. That's enough for me. But yeah, from a commander standpoint, get that infinite mana. I mean, let's go, dude. I mean, the card is just, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. When I first saw Tergrid, God of Fright, with her clause of discarding permanents, come to your side of the battlefield, sacrificing non-token permanents, come to your side of the battlefield, I was like, this is going to be so fun to play, so fun to build. But Jake, then I start building it, and I see the cards that I want to put into this deck, like Painful Quandary, and I'm suddenly realizing, okay, so this may be fun for me to theorize, maybe even build, maybe even pilot, but like, holy crap, is it just going to be like, all right, Joel, you get 1 game a night with your Tergrid deck from the opponents. They're going to just be like, nah, only once, and you got to swap to another deck. I'm not playing against that.
There is definitely part of you. I know it's like on this channel, your build is the Is It Mage, and you like red decks, and sometimes you play mono green. But really, there is a black mage side of you, because these cards always pop up in Joel's decks. Like,
well, and my favorite
Quandary,
EDH deck is Erebos, God of the Dead, mono black.
Right.
So I'm super in on mono black EDH. I've already figured out what the weaknesses are and how I need to build around them to make it a viable strategy.
You know, Painful Quandary is one of these cards that is punishing, and it's so brutal. And I think that's why it shows up in so many black decks. It's just a damned if I do, damned if I don't kind of feeling. And it's a powerful card. And in EDH, when you do want power, it is raw power. And this general Tergrid is a great enabler of these cards. It's just nuts.
Necrogen Mist is a card that I often run alongside Painful Quandary just because of the amount of discard that will be happening. I think it's also worth noting that Bloodchief Ascension and Tergrid are just like, they're made for each other. I mean, Bloodchief Ascension is checking for cards going into a graveyard from literally anywhere, and that's what we're going to be specifically trying to get to with Tergrid. Now, Jake, I know we've been talking about mono black, but let's talk about combining this with another color. Like, is this a wheels commander that can't run all of the best wheels, or what?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, if it had been red, so this obviously now we're talking about this from the standpoint of being in the 99. But yeah, if you get Tergrid Wheel of Fortune, yeah, it seems good. There's a reason that Wheel of Fortune keeps going up in price. The card is just going through the stratosphere at this point. I can't believe I got an unlimited copy 2 years ago at $85. I'm really happy that I have one. But yeah, this is just a nuts card. I know you have a Wheel of Fortune as well from a collection that we bought.
When I got mine, it was worth $40, and it has gone way up since then.
Way up. Stonks. Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's
Soup
a really,
Stonks.
really good card. Really good card. I'm excited to play it. I kind of want to build it now.
Yeah.
I want to build it into the 99 just for that one turn.
Right. It's a card that it will go into the 99 of my mono black EDH deck for sure. I want to find a place for that because that whole deck is built around Erebos God of the Dead greeting me cards and keeping my opponent's hands empty because I just use universal, table-wide discard effects because I don't care about discard because I can just draw cards on demand. So yeah, I'm very excited for Tergrid. This is a very punishing legendary creature. Let's talk about the second black EDH playable card that we want to talk about, and that is Rise of the Dread Marn. A black 2-other for an instant speed. Create X 2/2 black zombie berserker creature tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures that died this turn, and it's got a Foretell cost of 1, so you can pay to exile the card from your hand, a la cycling sort of. It's like cycling into exile, but you're mortgaging the present so that you can in the future pay 1 black for an instant speed ability, Jake, to get a bunch of 2/2s after a board wipe. This card seems nutty to me.
From an EDH standpoint, this is fantastic value. Tons and tons of value. You wait until the big board wipe, you reveal what the card is at that point. With the 1 black, and that's all you have to invest.
That's all you need.
It.
Jake, 5 mana, you can
just
wipe.
Be like, bro, you could just turn 1 Soul Ring that. Just
right. Yeah,
Soul
exactly.
Ring that past turn, and now it's ready. 1 black
Sure.
when you need it later, after the opponent does a damnation, after whoever does what.
Right. That's what I'm
fill
saying.
That field up. Yeah, it's absolute gas.
Damnation, Rise of the Dread Marn go hand in hand. 5 mana, you're wiping the board, and then you're getting a creature, a 2/2 nonetheless. That's a zombie, so relevant creature type. Berserker will need more support in the future, but all we really care is that you're getting a bunch of 2/2 zombies for 1 black mana after a damnation. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, say you have some sort of setup where you're able to cast like a heroic intervention, give your team indestructible.
Right.
And then you get Foretell off of everybody else's stuff that just got blown up. And then you had a setup that checks for relevant creature types, but you also had the new Masquid Nexus on the battlefield. So all of those zombies, get ready for it, are changelings. And you just get degenerate ETB effects because you had some sort of weird enabler on the battlefield. So, I mean, honestly, the sky's the limit with some of these Kaldheim cards.
Yeah.
I really like the card, yeah.
For sure. We've got one more we wanted to talk about in this video, and that's Draugr Necromancer, a snow creature for 4, 1 black, 3 other, zombie cleric 4/4. Zombie, cleric, relevant creature types. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead, and you can cast spells from among cards in exile your opponent's own with ice counters on them, and you can spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So Jake, you slam this Necromancer as the only snow creature into your black EDH deck, mono black, 2 color, doesn't matter. Change all your basics out for snow covered swamps. Bang, bang, boom. You've got Draugr Necromancer ready to have all of your creatures from your opponent's side of the battlefield dying and then coming back to you.
If you know the advantage to running regular basics over snow basics, we'd love to hear it.
And that's going to be a discussion for the next, I think, 6 weeks is like, all right, there's probably not going to be any snow-covered hate, right, for snow-covered lands, because it's the same thing with Energy in Kaladesh. that mechanic was even more broken, and they didn't print any hatred for energy tokens until the next set, when the set was mostly irrelevant at that point anyway. And so it just doesn't, it doesn't seem likely that they print, you know, an artifact that says on snow covered permanents don't untap, or snow permanents, you know, tap them all, they don't untap, something like that. It doesn't seem likely that they'll do that. So yeah, the advantage to running snow covered basics over your regular basics just seems like might as well.
Yeah, this card, I feel the same way about it as I do about Tergrid, and I think that Tergrid is one of these cards that's very strong, and the Necromancer is also very strong, and the power level of it is reflected in that casting cost. You know, just being able to get a lot of velocity out of a mono black general, it's going to mean a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are 3 of our favorite EDH cards in black that we've seen so far. Let's close the book. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell down there so you know when we've posted another Kaldheim video. Other than that, I'm tapped out. Jake?
Yes, it has been a great time. We're going to keep more of these videos coming to you. As we get more Kaldheim spoilers, we're going to comb through and find the cards that are worth noting.
Going farming!
That's it. Until next time, I'm tapped out.